Hello, today we're going to talk about working on set and in particular what the cinematographer and director do and how they work together. And again, we've got Helen Carter here, a very experienced cinematographer. Helen, let's start by talking about the kind of first thing we try to do when we're going to shoot a scene, when we're setting up for the shooting.
So when we start a new scene, before I get out any equipment, set anything up, I just want to see what is going to happen, where the actors are going to be.
Exactly, so a block through.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's, we've worked together a lot and I kind of know that's what you want to see and it totally makes sense. Makes sense as a director, it makes sense as an AD, it makes sense for all the crew.
I don't want to waste time like putting the camera here and then it's got to go here or light for this and then the actor's actually doing this. That's no good. But also at that moment, I can try and preempt what my issues will be and get you to talk to the actor to maybe have them face the light a bit more or turn around or leave the other way.
Yep. I think it's also good being a director. It's good to be able to ask the actor to do that. I think they appreciate it because it's like they get to go on set, do the whole thing with no pressure. And then it's good for the other side, which is the crew, because then everyone kind of can sit and watch and take it all in and figure out how it's going to unfold.
It's a way of getting everyone on the same page quickly.
Okay. All right. The next thing, what are we going to film first?
Pretty much start with a wide shot, get everything, establish the continuity, get everything in its place, establish the lighting conditions, and then work smaller from there.
This is really important if you have that kind of master wide shot where it all occurs, because you can trip yourself up, I think, if you go and shoot like that close-up you've always had in mind, because you think, I need to get this is going to be the hero shot of it, but then it doesn't work in the wide or it has to be changed for the wide, then you've got to go back and redo it.
I usually like to try and start with the more complicated shots first, and because you need the most flexibility with those shots.
Yep.
And then, for a simple close-up, that's a reaction, that's the least complicated. So we should do that last. Yep.
And I also think that there's actually more flexibility in doing the closer-up shots later on, because often you need to cheat them around. That is like, move the actor or move some props to, dress the shot really nicely.
Or maximise the lighting, or the eye line, or whatever you need to do to polish that.
Yep.
But it still needs to cut. So continuity-wise, it still has to work.
Okay.
So you work from the established wide shot.
Okay, great. So,
how do we decide if a take is good?
Yes. Okay.
How do you know?
There's how I know. And then there's the shorthand, the looks that we share as well about whether or not it's good. So first of all, how do I know? It's if technically it works, like there was no issues technically with camera or sound or lighting, and it's also performance. Did the actor hit their mark? Were they facing towards camera? Could we see their eyes? Did they do the action in the right order for continuity? Did every little element of it work? And also, was there no other issues? Like, was there no, person walking in the background that wasn't meant to be there? Did an aeroplane come across? Like, there's so many little things. It's like the shot is good until it's not, I guess is another way of thinking about it.
But sometimes you also need to draw the line. Like, we've done this 7 times. Everyone's tried.
Yep.
We've got it pretty good.
Yep.
It's actually not going to improve.
Yep.
And we know we've got some coverage or something else.
Yeah. And then often I'll be like, the first half was good in this take, and then I know later on we got a good second half, and those things can probably work together in the edit.
So I would never comment on performance unless I really think you're missing something, and then I very privately mention something I'm seeing, but not the overall performance. That's your job.
Yeah.
I'll comment on technical issues, and I'm hoping that you're looking at post-production.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that what I said before about we share this look, I think we've worked together enough that you look at each other and there's a look, eye contact, there's a nod, you just know. Both ways, you know if it's not good and you know if it is good.
It's very important to establish as fast as you can whether you're going again or moving on, because that is a place that slows down the shoot.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty clear on that when we work, that when we're going again, we're definitely going again. And I think the thing I'll do actually quite often is if I think it's good, just to make sure I kind of go, oh, is everyone good with that? I say that a number of times if I just checking in to make sure that focus and sound and all these other things were kind of happening. Okay, great. Do we use a shot list? And how do we use the shot list? And what's our thoughts on shot lists?
I think I'm more wedded to the actual list. I want to know, exactly how many shots, what order we're doing them in, how they're working.
Yep.
Whereas you have a more visual idea of what you're after, the impression I get.
Yeah. I think I'm totally up with what you say. We always get the wide. Like I always want a wide. And then I think we've got an idea of how many shots we've scheduled. And we've got a rough sense from the location scout and the test shoot of what we're going to do. And then it's about going and picking up those additional shots. So I feel like we do start with one, but then on the day I don't carry it around and look at it. We just kind of get going.
I have in my mind a visual floor plan. So I know the wide's going to be here, and then we're coming over shoulder, and then a close-up reverse, something like that. That's my shot list.
Okay, great. Yeah. I mean, we clearly think about it different ways, but those two ways to think about it are complementary.
But we rarely vary our plan much.
No.
We don't have time.
No, that's true. That's true. Okay. Finally, let's talk about what happens when we get behind schedule. Do we get behind schedule? What do we do?
It's a little bit fluid, and there's always a small amount of room to move. I do take it seriously if we have 1 hour to shoot 3 shots. I'm committed to making that work. And I know that, in some circumstances I have to reduce what I'd want to do lighting-wise or camera movement-wise.
Yep.
Some things I never scrimp on, like I always want a rehearsal.
Yes, definitely. The two things that I've learnt, and probably, from our experience as well, is that in the start of the day, we can get a little bit behind, especially if we've scheduled more complex shots, and I can, not be too stressed or anxious about that, because also I know that we can catch it up. It is possible. And I find that for the last hour of the day, in our experience, we're really efficient. Like everyone just wants to get it done, get it finished. We've gotten the rhythm, gotten the flow of it, and we can work faster in that last bit.
I try to stay very focused for the whole shoot day. And if I feel myself flagging, I try and make myself concentrate, stay on task.
Yeah, I think we both do a good job of that, of trying to keep the crew and the cast moving forward together to getting it done, because we really are committed, as you said, to making sure that this thing is scheduled and executed and everyone goes home on time.
We shoot the call sheet on time.
Exactly. All right, great. Thanks very much again, Helen. Really enjoyed this chat. And thank you for coming in.